Welcome to the Mussar video blog. So I just wanted to continue from where we left off last week. If you recall, last week we spoke about developing the Mussar mindset. That means when situations happen, when challenges confront us, to not start blaming and this and that, but to right away ask ourselves the question, how can I learn from this? How can I use it to improve? How can I change? So I just want to take that a step further and talk about the unique Mussar approach to that, because let's just take, for example, that classic scenario. Here you are, you're in the supermarket, you're waiting in line, and in front of you is that person who is just taking forever and ever and ever, and you feel yourself getting impatient. And like, what's going on? I mean, come on already. Like, what are you doing? Like, didn't you realize that you needed the jar of mayonnaise? Why did you have to decide that right now? Okay, so you heard the video blog and you say, wait, I need to ask myself the question, what can I do differently? So you decide then and there, you can look for another line. Well, that might be a solution. That might be a solution. Just go to a different line or something like that, or who knows what. Or next time you go to the supermarket, you bring along a book, so when you're waiting in line, you could do that, or play on your smartphone, or whatever it is. So you figured out a way to kind of cope with the situation. Okay, that's fine, and that's something worth doing. But the Mussar approach is more than that. The Mussar approach is to maybe go home that night, give some thought, and ask yourself, why did it make me so upset? Why should it bother me if the person in front of me is taking a long time? Okay, I get it. Maybe they're not doing the right thing. Maybe they should have had more forethought. They should have realized people are waiting. All true. But why am I getting upset? Why am I losing my godly side and starting to act in an animalistic way? I have to ask myself that question. And just as a clue, oftentimes, maybe even most of the time, it usually comes from ego. So let's just follow this one through. And let's take this scenario. Here I am, waiting in line. Person's taking a long time. I'm getting impatient. I'm getting upset. And I'm about to say something. Okay, whatever happens, happens. That night, I go home, ask myself the question, why'd you act like that? And some thought, and I come up with the conclusion, it's an ego issue. Because I want the world to run the way I want it to run. I want that line to move. I don't want to have to wait. So I get upset. Oh, okay. So now, the Mussar approach is, well, let's deal with that. Aside from figuring out how to cope with the situation next time I'm in the supermarket, but let's do something to deal with that fundamental deficiency, or whatever you want to call it, lacking, or something that needs to be worked upon. Let's try to lower the ego a little bit. And it may take a while, but as we develop this type of look, and as we begin to see where is my reaction coming from, and we start to go to the core and attack it at the core level, then as time goes on, I'll find eventually, a year or two down the road, I'll be standing there in the supermarket and I'll be waiting in line, and someone will be right in front of me and be a major league nudnik, whatever it is, and I'll just sit there and say, okay, whatever, this is the way it is, so just wait. So that's what we're striving for, to not just seek solutions, but to seek the root of the reaction and to figure out ways to develop. So, till we meet again, see you next time.